I'm just going to cover off how to improve your team from good to amazing. In this video, I'll cover off why organizations need amazing teams to achieve amazing things, what we mean by high-performing teams, and how you will develop as a high-performing team. Teams achieve more by working together. Teams provide a variety of skills. Teams are better at solving problems. More ideas comes out of a team brainstorming session. And Helen Keller's quote, "Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much." I think today just about everything is achieved by teams, functional teams, cross-functional teams, virtual teams, project teams, you name it. It is done all through teams. There are many teams and many dimensions of teams. The model that I've arrived at over the years moves from dysfunctional through to functional, performing, and then high performing. You can see in the graphics there, dysfunctional is where people are driving their own agenda. Functional, they're starting to pull in the same direction. Performing, they're starting to work well. And most of the teams in a well-run organization tend to be performing. High performing is just that little bit extra, that edge. And sometimes this is what you need to overcome sort of big issues, big problems. And it's a lot of that sort of what the differentiation is emotional, where people really feel part of that team. If you look at this in terms of the heads, the hands, the heart, and the energy, four sort of key things that describe what a great team is all about. But the last two, the heart and the energy, where people feel or believe passionately, those are the things that truly differentiate that team. And I don't think I've known of a high-performing team that doesn't have that. Those are the things that actually make for a high-performing team. Over 20 years of working with teams, I've distilled down all of my sort of findings and observations into what I call the 7 drivers. Those are the 7 drivers, and I'm going to briefly cover them. Against each one of these drivers, I've identified 10 statements that capture what the driver is, and they in fact form part of the survey that we do. So engaging leaders that actually bring out the best in their people, are sort of modest but actually demanding. They can give strong feedback but actually motivational feedback. Really a key part of it. Mutual trust, team members trust one another, and they drop the barriers and they start to work really well with one another, and sort of the self-interest diminishes as they work together to create a whole team benefit. Know and grow ourselves, where people understand each other's strengths, understand each other's personalities, and they help one another, they coach one another, and you see peer-to-peer coaching is the norm within the team. Smart alignment, all the goals tie back to the company goals, tie back to the organization's goals, so everyone can see how what they're doing links back to the team, links back to the whole business. It's a real key to success. Action orientation, geared up with the right knowledge, skills, tools, in order to be able to sort of achieve what they've set out to do. Inspiring vision, feel passion for what you're doing, believe in what you're doing. And this is a driving force of the energy within teams, and a great team spirit. People feel good about being part of the team. They feel they cared for, but they can confront issues. They feel energized, and it's a great place to be. So that all sort of comes down to this model, which you can see in the center of the screen. Leadership, know and grow yourself, and mutual trust. Those all become the hub of the wheel. On the left-hand side in blue, smart alignment ties in with the head. Action orientation in green ties in with the hands. Inspiring vision, the yellow, provides the energy for the team. And the great team spirit in the red becomes the heart. So that very simply is what being a great team is all about. This is where high-performing teams. You can see there's quite a lot of thought has gone into this. So how do you go about becoming a high-performing team? How do you get going? So this is about starting your journey, because it is a journey. It's not a one-off. You don't take a pill and it happens overnight. So appoint a team coach to work with the leader and the team. And if you recruit us, we provide you with that coach for the period that you need the help. It starts off with a discussion, looking at the current situation, assessing levels of success and HPT maturity. You start with a kickoff meeting with the whole team where you get a buy-in from them as to the HPT journey, and then agree the team member and key stakeholder feedback surveys. The survey, the team member one, ties back to those 7 areas and the 10 statements, and everyone has a chance to actually rate the team according to that. And you get the result comes through showing how you've performed. The key stakeholder survey is a simpler one. In both cases, in both surveys, we ask for comments. And the comments are really pretty powerful and really useful that come out of it. So typically the survey highlights the following. People that have been working together for years just don't know one another. Contentious issues and conflicts tend to become invisible. Levels of self-interest and orientation tend to be high. Mutual trust tends to be patchy and certainly doesn't run to making sacrifices for the benefit of the whole team. Small teams work well, but the big team tends to operate in silos. There are too many initiatives that are not adequately resourced. People feel motivated by their work, but stressed by all the demands put on them. Team members are generally unaware of the strengths and struggles of other team members. Peer-to-peer coaching is almost non-existent. That is really typical. And then what happens in the workshop, particularly the sort of second half of the first day and then to the next day, people start to really sort of work on these particular issues. This is a typical workshop. We'd always tailor make the workshop for each individual team, but this is what a typical result would be. We'd encourage people to, if they can, do an overnighter, a day and a half to 2 days, and away from the workplace. But if you can't do that, then we'll find other ways of actually getting you to the same benefit. So in this day, typical, spend good time on introductions so people really get to know one another, making sure we understand what the team believes amazing looks like, then get into the detail of the high-performing team model, give the results of the survey, so identify the sort of key strengths and struggles of the team, then deal with the elephant in the room, because invariably there is always something that bugging people and not talking about, so get it out. And then we play the relationship game, which really helps people. And then the second day is the way we want to be, identifying the why and the how, know and grow ourselves. And finally, we end up with an action list. Really, really powerful 2 days. Right. A few other points. A team that learns together grows together. This has been my observation over the years. So identify amazing critical skills gaps and provide learning programs for the teams, e.g. digital skills. Run a Myers-Briggs so people get to understand their personalities and how they can work better together. Where possible, learn new processes and skills as a whole team. StrengthsFinder workshop. This is a StrengthsFinder 2.0 is a really good way to actually find out how everyone contributes within the team. Develop a coaching capability of the team, launch a peer-to-peer coaching initiative, and provide one-to-one coaching to those that are struggling. So you're helping everyone along the way, either with internal resources and external resources, but it's part of a program. It's not a one-off workshop. It's a program to actually help you to get to where you want to be. So just to recap, the kickoff workshop, implement actions, additional workshops if need be, follow up on a quarterly basis, and then measure your success. So all of that is how the program works. And measure your success, we'd recommend with maybe 12 months to 18 months after the kickoff workshop, do the survey again and see how you rate according to the 7 drivers of a high-performing team. So, in summary, high-performing teams are essential to the long-term success of any organization. Developing teams is a lot more than taking them out for a meal. There's no silver bullet that will transform your team performance. To achieve amazing or to achieve good, to improve, you need to take a structured approach over time with the participation of everybody. Use some external coaching to help you along the way, but develop your own internal capability. And that's how you get to be a high-performing team. It just takes a little bit of time and the willingness to do it. Thank you.